Good morning. I'm starting to get a little relief from my arthritis. I'm going to try to do a little more napping. Been several weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks, I think, since I've been able to nap. I got this material from Dan Collins, from Texas Church that I really love. I had access to this probably 20 years ago at one time. Somewhere out around Fort Hood we was getting it. I don't even remember where. Might have been around Lake Belton. But boy, this stuff's nice. When it's heat treated right, it works great. I'm gonna see if we can make a blade out of this stuff. Dan did a good job heat treating it. I'll give him credit for that, man. I'm just zigzagging this stuff. And not much to explain on this. When you're zigzagging it, I'll hit this way, turn it over, got a lower platform, below the center line. Got to below the center line, you keep flopping it back and forth. I can't hit in there. I'm really scared to nap it. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. I hadn't napped so long. What I should have done, and I don't know if it works for everybody, but I found out if I go weeks without napping, my accuracy's not too good for a while. And you should get you a big old thick chunk of something and practice on it for a while until you get your accuracy back. And your muscle memory, what they're gonna call it. And then pull out the good stuff. But don't do like I'm doing. Start hitting on this good stuff immediately. You liable to mess up. All right. I got this part here to go. Blow the center line. Blow the center line. Blow the center line. I'm gonna keep flipping on it. I see a crack in it. I hope it don't go very far. Don't look like it does. It's right there. And I think it all broke out. That's why it broke out like that, because of that crack. Whoa. Definitely broke out. Oh my God. I don't mind it being that much shorter, but I would like to be able to save the lengths on it. So I'm going to see if I can do it. Be real careful down here. If this is thicker than this, I've got to support it good until I get it thinner. I got it about the same thickness right in there, so kind of helped me out a lot as far as maybe messing up and breaking it. So I'm gonna go to my favorite billet to these right here. I like to use that solid one to get them ready because it don't wear them out as fast. These are thin here. That's a little hollow gas cap. I'll show you what they look like. They just hollow. And they last pretty good while, but not as long as something solid. But I get better results with them. What I like about them is the light. when your wrist and shoulders hurt, you're not swinging something heavy. It's just a lot easier on you when you get old. 10 years ago, I would have laughed at you, and I was old then, but I wasn't hurting. I never had no pain or anything back here. Didn't no arthritis or nothing. I said, I ain't swing that heavy one all day long. It don't bother me. But I learned a lesson. Used to have a friend. He's about probably 20 years older than me. When I was in my 30s. And he's probably older than that. I don't know. I'm not trying to do the math in my head. But he was probably in his 80s and I was in my 30s. And when he walked by me at church, he shuffled his feet. And I tell him, I said, really, quit dragging your feet. I said, pick your feet up. Picking at him, I said, you know, anybody can pick their feet up. Boy, was I wrong. And I used to watch people boxing when I was a kid. My dad said, well, they wore out. He said, he's getting tired. He's not keeping his guard up. He said, he's dropping his hand. He can't hold his arms up. And I thought how stupid that was. I said, anybody can hold your arms up. And when I got older, around 19 years old, I got into martial arts and started doing fighting and stuff. And we go fight in tournaments. And didn't fight many of them, but a couple of them. And the first one I went to, I thought I was in great shape. I was running every morning, but I wasn't running but about 3 to 5 miles. One morning I'd run 3, one morning I'd run 5. I think I got up to 6, but you know, I just get out and jog every morning. And I thought I was in good shape. We went down to Baton Rouge. There's a karate instructor, taekwondo instructor down there named Kim. Had a school down there and he put on a tournament, Louisiana State tournament type thing. Went out and fought at it. And it wasn't that big a deal. It was full contact, but it wasn't but, I can't remember, I just made every one. I think it was like 3 rounds. And I'm thinking it was 5 minutes, I could be wrong. But anyway, they go by your belt division back here and those kind of things. So if you would say a brown belt or a yellow belt, you would fight yellow belts out. If it was 10 of them, it'd pair you up and you fight. And if you win the next fight, and then you fight and you win the next fight. And whoever was last man standing in the yellow belt won the trophy. Well, I was a brown belt at that time. And I won 3 fights in a row. And that was... And all I had to do was win one more to get first place. And there was a dude from Houston, Texas, and he was Mexican. And I bet he wouldn't weigh 150 pounds. And I was 6 foot. He was like 5'10" or something like that. And I really didn't, I watched him fight, but I wasn't impressed with it. But I was winded. I was give out, man, I'm telling you. I started understanding about holding your arms up. And I'm going to quit hitting on this and tell this story. And I'm going to try to explain to you what I'm doing. And we got in that ring. And when that second round was over with, I couldn't hold my arms up. I was huffing and puffing. I just thought I was in shape. I should have been running 10 miles or more. Man, I never wanted anything to deal with so bad in my life. I mean, my chest was burning. and got through, and when the referee tallied all the scores, and said it was a tie. Well, in that deal, when you had a tie, you fought one more round, and so I'm over there, and they had a wet towel, and they fanned me, and I'm huffing and puffing like Puff the Magic Dragon, I guess. But anyway, I was wore out, man. I wanted to be over with. I didn't care if I won. I didn't care. I just wanted. I would have gave it to him. And the first time in my life, I understood what it meant to be so tired you couldn't hold your arms up. So I got me a game plan. I realized that. I put my game plan together. So we get out there in the ring, in the middle of the ring, and the referee gets in between you, and then he steps back and does his hand down, he says, Hajime, or whatever that means when you start fighting. And this is my game plan. I held my hand down like this, resting them, and I'm just shaking them, resting them. And I said, when he says Hajime, I'm going to come up like this as fast as I can and guard my face. And I'm sitting there like this, and he said it, and I went up like this, and all this is open, and I shot way up above my head. That dude caught me with a kick right there, a side kick, and I bounced on that canvas like a rock on the water, just skipping. I had a footprint for 2 weeks right there, and that was it, and he won. I was the last guy. Man. I had never wanted to get over so fast. And my wife told me, and that was on a Saturday night, and it's like 9:20 minutes from where we was at. And she said, you gonna get in late. And she said, you gonna go to church Sunday morning. And I had a daughter then at that age. And she said, we got married right out of high school. We was engaged when we was like 16 years old. And she said, you got to work for a living. If you're going to go down and fight, I don't want to hear one peep out of you when you get back. I said, okay. Well, I got in about 12 o'clock that night, I guess. We stopped and eat after the thing and all that. And carpool. The car I was with had like 4 of us in it. And I just even then went to bed. She was asleep. I didn't even wake her up. So the next morning she gets up. I got my back turned, got the cover pulled up on me. And she wakes me up and said, you need to get up, get ready for church. She said, I'm going to cook us some breakfast. I said, okay. And I walked in that bathroom, and my right eye was completely shut. I couldn't even open it. My nose had so much dried blood in it, it wasn't even funny. And I looked there, that guy's footprint was. Then I looked down there and I broke my big toe. I think I jammed it real bad. And it was about as big around as my knee. And I said, holy smoke. So I get dressed, I can't put my shoe on. My toe's so big, it hurts so bad, I couldn't get my shoe on. And she was in the kitchen cooking breakfast. So I get a pair of old tennis shoes I had, and I took a pair of scissors and a knife, and I cut the whole toe of them, top part out where my toe would stick out. And I put on my dress pants and shirt and all, and I go in the kitchen, and she's got her back to me. And I said, boy, that smells good. She's cooking some deer sausage. And she turned around, and she said, oh, my gosh, what in the world happened to you? And I said, I don't even want to talk about it. She said, well, I told you I didn't want to hear a word out of you when you got back, and you ain't said nothing. She said, well, she can't wear them tennis shoes to church with a toe cut out. And I said, baby, I got to. That's all I can wear. And when I got to church, they laughed at me and laughed at me. My friends just give me a fit, man. And that was the last tournament I ever went and fought in. Boy, that little dude. I tell you what, I still think there's somebody in the audience hit me in the back of the head. Because I was looking straight at him one time and I got hit in the back of the head. He was fast and he was good. Alright. I'm messing this thing up because I'm talking and not paying no attention. And so I'm going to slow down and explain what I'm doing. I'm going to set up isolated platform. Right here, I'm setting one up. Come right in here. See, that's what I should have been doing while I was talking. Driving bigger flakes off. Alright. That left me with a natural one right here. Don't go that way on it. I think I'm gonna come up here, make this point a little narrow, and thin it some. That little platform right there, and right there, and down there a little bit. Just a continuous platform right through there. I can pressure flake this out, but I do want to try to get a little out right here. Now this is where it gets risky. Might break this tip off, so I'm going to try to come straight down like that. Knock it out and just skim the edge because I didn't have to run a long flake. I went straight down. Now, this is pretty narrow, which is okay. Not bothering me. Wasn't that wide to start with. But I got to get some pretty good mass out of here to thin it. So I'm going to come right here. That runs all the way down. That went all the way across and that went right into there. I'm going to look on this side. And I need to move some more right in here. Leave down on it. Grind it good. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to look at it. Start seeing problem areas. Here's one here. I got a hinge right here. I think the crack was right there. Yeah, right over here. But anyway, I don't know how I got that hinge there, but it looks like a crack, kind of little crack there. I got a hinge here, so I'm kind of in trouble right here, if you understand what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a little more pointed right here and come up, work up to it here and try to roll this top over this way. Here we go. I'm rolling it back that way. It's going to give me 2 shots at it to get that hinge out. Now to get this hinge out, I'm going to hit straight down. And my shot wave went under it and it took it out. There we go. Whew. I didn't have anything particular in mind to make out of this. I was telling Dan about this shirt. He found some of it, and he was telling me about it, and I was telling him if you heat it right, he needed to run it up a higher temperature. He showed me it would get more glassy, and he did. And anyway, he sent me a couple of pieces, so Like I say, this wasn't designed to be a dovetail or anything particular. I'm just trying to make a blade out of it. And trying to work it down. I got all them trouble areas out of it right there. Then I'm gonna get over here and see what I can do over here on this side. I still need to work right in here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to do that. Look at that. Boy, that went in there so deep. Holy smoke. Man, I didn't need to cut in that deep. I hit too high up on it. Hit too high up this way. Holy smoke. Kind of messed that up. I told you my accuracy wasn't good. Now I got to figure out how to get my rear end out of this mess. I'm going to go to a smaller diameter. I went across there and did pretty good there.